Let me talk a bit about synthetic as well. Yes, the therapeutic side is present in our work. But people also reach out to me if they want to do something more market-oriented. That is also possible. And there are more harmful ones, normal ones, and biosynthetics. For example, there are phthalates related to their harms. Professor, phthalates can actually disrupt the body's estrogen hormone. And this causes accumulation in the body. They can be carcinogenic. They should not be in perfumes. And we see this in labeled perfumes sold at high prices. So we shouldn't immediately trust them and think this is very good, this is the best perfume, or use it just because the scent appeals to us. We need to pay attention to synthetic products here. However, with the advancement of biotechnology, for example, fakuliye, I read in a recent article, fakuliye, as you know, is actually a shrub used in the Indonesian region. A shrub like wood. It was also very beautiful. Here, the base note from the sharp notes. It really takes you to different places the moment I smell it. Truly beautiful. Look, for example, I read about it in a recent article in biosynthetic laboratories, but natural microorganisms are making it. This, as you know, fungi and bacteria microbes. Of course, there are good ones. And bad ones? Not all microbes are bad. It's expensive, isn't it?
The cost is very high. Palo Santo tree. We use it as incense. We also use it to cleanse crystals and to energetically cleanse the environment. And it is also very beautiful. A fragrant tree. Essential oil is also obtained from it. Inevitably, obtaining essential oil from it is a costly process.
Okay, we have our essences or aromatic oils, but we cannot use them in their pure form. The most conscious solvent is ethyl alcohol. This creates a very nice combination because it can mix with both aromatic oils and essences, as well as water. We primarily use ethyl alcohol in the production of cologne and perfume. Let me give you another tip. Normally, we also provide more information about solvents and fixatives in our training sessions. For example, dipropylene glycol. This is also from the glycol family and is related to glycerin. These can dissolve in both water and oils or essences. They are actually very good solvents. Some of them are also moisturizers and even germicidal. We use them more in these types of room fragrances because they have a lower vapor pressure, meaning they evaporate less. This prevents them from evaporating quickly because if we make a perfume entirely from ethyl alcohol, it becomes very volatile and, it has its own distinct alcohol smell. It's not a very pleasant smell, of course. So come to the bottle. We use these types of alternative solvents in certain proportions to suppress that. At the same time, they also serve as fixatives, stabilizers. Is it to evoke feelings of unity or for aphrodisiac effects? For each of these is the solvent, stabilizer, and high vapor pressure top notes. These vary, and here we don't just go by our own preferences, we also consider their therapeutic effects, and especially look at the individual. Yes, look at mint. Now, as you see, the label is real.
Very different.
Very different.
I mean, it's very, very different from my essential oils. Yes, when you smell this, you say mint. But it is truly a product obtained from the mint plant.
Yes, but in our soap.
Put it in the soap.
We can put it in a candle, but it's not right to put it in every component because these mix into the air and we breathe them in. By the way, let's talk about another tip. In perfume making, as you can see here, a magnetic stirrer, because just mixing these by hand with a spoon is not enough. There comes a time for these. They are not homogeneous, and there is a maturation process to become a blend. It needs to be mixed for a long time. In fact, it needs to be left to rest. Let's talk about these inhalers, Professor. For example, I bought this one from Thailand.
Nice, Professor. Bring me a gift too.
Yes.
Let me get it from my bag.
The raw material for this is the substance we call camphor. However, recently it has not been possible to obtain it so much. These are also made in the laboratory. Of course, too much of these is harmful. Crystal menthol, this is also a synthetic substance. But it's for refreshment, isn't it? It's very nice like this.
Of course, but as you said, I don't collect it very often. For the taste as well.
Yes. If you have any other questions about this, write them below. Let's try to answer them as much as possible in the comments. See you in my other videos. Stay more natural, stay healthier. Goodbye.